Hi, I'm Matt Gregory, and today I'm joined by Vincent Chiou, Corporate Vice President and General Manager of Display Business Unit and ProArt Committee Chairman. Hi there, Vincent.
Hi, Matt.
So, Vincent, we're sat here in January 2025. Just to look back at 2024, tell us how 2024 was for ASUS ProArt and how business was and what achievements you had.
Okay. Last year, actually we have a good result. First, it's brand awareness. We can use the Google Trend to search the ASUS ProArt, and you will find that compared to 2023 and 2024, our brand awareness is grow a lot. The increase over 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. So brand awareness that means that we have the high market share of from the end user.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's brand awareness. Second is product readiness. Not only monitor, but also now that we have a notebook and a motherboard, and also we have a graphic card, chassis, even the projector, and also the accessories, including the mouse or your notebook bag. Yeah, something like that. And so now that we have not only the one product line, but also it's a full product lines and with a total solution. And not only the hardware, but also software together. So the product line-wise, we now is comprehensive ready. And the third is business result. And in terms of the quantity, yeah, we have a good result in different product lines. For example, we have some product line that grows the top 2 times, and even some product lines 10 times.
Wow.
Very good performance.
Yes.
And of course, every product line is grow. Yeah. So that means ProArt have a good performance in 2024.
Good. I mean, so you're seeing that all departments are growing, which is great across ProArt. In terms of the sectors in particular have performed well. Are you seeing that in education and because we see a lot in the film and TV technology space and production? Is that what you're seeing as well in terms of growth into those markets?
I think that we not only product, but also the marketing that we co-work with the school and the studio together and try to highlight our product, the benefit to end user. And that also we can get some feedback from user side and especially from expert.
Yes.
So because they are the key users, so we can know what they need, and also when we get the feedback from those users, and in ASUS internally, we usually use the design thinking.
Yeah.
The methodology to try to find out the pain point from end user.
And then you fix it.
Yeah.
And then you release a new product. And then you start again.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. We see that. So look, 2024 sounds, obviously that was a very successful year for you. I know you'll already be looking ahead to 2025.
Yeah.
And we've just been looking at the news at CES and looking at the trends from last year. And I think we can all see that AI is going to be a really, really big part of probably your strategy in 2025 going forward. So I was wondering if you could share some of the ideas around innovation, AI innovation at ASUS, and the sort of tools that are going to help power the workflow or enable enhanced workflow for creatives.
Regarding the AI, now it's a hot topic. Usually we have in ASUS internally that we have the ProArt committee to coordinate with different department, different business unit for different product line. And so usually we will have a regular workshop to discuss what's the next innovation features and what's the functions is across the product line. And of course, the AI is a hot topic, so it become our major focus. So in our discussion, in the past few years, we find out some innovation ideas, okay, and also the share to different department, and it's our internal process one. So we can find out. We use the design thinking, as I mentioned, the design thinking to find out the pain point and also find out the innovation features for end user. And now that we add in the AI into, and last year we launched some product with the AI features for creators.
Yes.
For example, we launched Muse Tree. Muse Tree and Story Cube in Q2 last year, and also we have AI advisor in Q4 last year.
Yes.
Yeah, those features help the creators to increase their productivity and also efficiency. So, for example, the Muse Tree, so it's good AI tool for creators to generate their AI image. So they just use some keyword or sketch. So it's a Muse Tree, and also the Story Cube also can help users, creators to categorize their content, their idea. Yeah, so can recognize the image just by face.
Yeah.
And also they can recognize the photo just by face recognition, and also they can recognize the pets. Also they can recognize the landscape, something like that. Yeah. And categorize.
I think this is maybe something that, coming ahead this year that people are going to be more aware of. That ASUS, you're not just a hardware manufacturer now. You're also developing software to work with the enhancements that your hardware is providing. Those AI hardware enhancements are actually powering software that you're developing with, knowing that you've got the hardware to power that software. Yeah. That can help creators be more innovative, have more efficient workflows.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, so not only the hardware, we provide a total solution. So we provide AI-ready hardware, and also the creators needed the software. Yeah, combined together. We launched AI advisor last year, Q4. Also help the user to adjust their setting on Movable. Because some users, for some scenario, they need a higher performance. And for some scenario, they need a different setting. So AI advisor can just let the user use natural language to ask a question to find out the answer. Not just search, but just use a natural language and they can get AI advice.
Yeah, which is what people are getting more accustomed to now by using generative AI language tools. That's how people are getting accustomed now to asking questions rather than search, by having a conversation. So if your AI enhancements then can kind of work with that dialogue and essentially enhance for the example you gave, enhance the Movable performance based on the sort of work that they're doing. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think those functions will help the creators and the users to improve their workflow. Yeah, just add those features into their original workflow and enhance the efficiency. Good. So it helped a lot. Yeah. So many users like our new features, the software and also the hardware.
Good. Yeah. It's you mentioned efficiency, but with efficiency, I suppose an organisation like ASUS and within the ProArt committee that you chair, sustainability is also very important. Is that something that you put an emphasis on in terms of sustainability and how that relates at ASUS with your products, with the ProArt products?
Sure. And I think sustainability is the policy for whole product line. Yeah. Of course, the ProArt product lines will follow our corporate policy. Yes. And I can say something. I can talk about sustainability policy by different items. First, I can say the design. Yeah. Okay. And then I can say for production. Yeah. And also the certification. Yeah. Okay. And design-wise, for example, we use environmentally friendly materials. Yeah. For example, we use the packing the materials as a 100% recyclable. The material, and also from design point of view, we not only recycle but reuse. Yeah. For example, our packing material, we can reuse it. Yes. Yeah. So we designed some interesting utility tool. For example, you just cut the cardboard. Yeah. And we already draw some line there. Yeah. And the user just cut it and then remove it. Yeah. And then repack. Oh, cool. And then become the mobile phone stand.
So have you got a team just focused on that then? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then so they designed a lot of interesting things to reuse the material. Good. Yeah. And then not only the mobile phone stand, and for some stand for notebook. Yeah. Yeah. And also some idea, many interest in the idea. And so from our design team. Yeah. Yeah. Also from our PM team. Yeah. Oh, cool. R&D team. Yeah. Good. So they co-work together to find out some way to design the reuse scenario.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a reuse, and also the power efficiency.
Yeah.
And the power consumption. We try to reduce the power consumption on all our product lines, especially the ProArt. Yeah. And the ProArt, for example, for our monitor, we design a hot switch, so it can let the power consumption become zero.
Wow. Okay.
Not just the 0 point something watt.
Yeah.
But
absolute zero.
Yeah. Absolutely zero.
Yeah.
So for some scenario,
that's probably good for a company as well, or a business that have many monitors in their office space. They're not being used to know, not just for you guys, right, for ASUS and for ProArt, to know that you can provide efficiency for your products, but also for your customers.
Yeah.
That the products that they're using are super efficient, and they're not consuming energy when they're not being used.
Yeah. So a lot of the electronic devices consume our power. Just in standby mode. Yeah. So we design in a hot switch for end user to just let power consumption become zero.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good design, and our customers appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah. And for design wise, we recycle the material. For example, the PCR. Yes. We use the 85% PCR, the plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And also some panels we use mercury free.
Yes.
Yeah, the panel. So for design point of view, we have some policy, and we implement the one by one. And now I think our product is environmentally friendly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's design point of view, but not only design but also production.
Yes.
Yeah, production. We think ASUS defined some policy. Yeah, for manufacturing. And not only ASUS, ourselves, but also our partner. Yes. For example, our supply chain. Yes. So all supply chain have to follow our policy. Okay. So and we will audit. All those partners to ask them to co-work together. Yes. Yeah. To follow the trend.
The best practices that you put in place.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And also if they have not enough resources to reach our target, we will put our resources to help them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So not just ask them, but help them.
Good.
Yeah. So it's for production. And finally, we just say something. Okay, we are good. We do something, but who believe? So we need certification.
Yes.
So our product also pass a lot of the requirement.
Yes.
Yeah, something like the EPIT. Yeah.
Yes.
And also we got the EPIT Gold, Silver, okay, yes. And also TCO, and Energy Star, and also some models even achieve the highest criteria of Energy Star. So ASUS is the brand that recognizes the most monitor brand for Energy Star.
So in the same way that you audit your suppliers and your supply chain to make sure that they're best in class and meet your standards, you welcome external scrutiny of your processes yourself, because you're not just confident, you're excited about the measures you put in place in regards to sustainability.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and look, with those monitors that that you're putting together there, this is at Redshirt is something we work with a lot. We work with people that work in post production, creators, people that work in visual effects, colorists, and editors. Mm-hmm. And for that community, our community there, I think the things that really matter to them are color accuracy and visual fidelity. Look, we've seen in the last 5 years how far ProArt has come, and it's now, you mentioned brand recognition. We're seeing ProArt displays in big production companies, post-production companies, big universities with major media-related courses. Tell us how you achieved that. I mean, what happens here internally at ASUS and within ProArt to help kind of achieve those standards in color accuracy and visual fidelity?
Okay.
It's a big question.
Okay, big question. Yeah, but I can use some direction to answer. First is, of course, design. Yeah. Okay. But before design, we have to understand what users' pain point, and also what they need. So as I mentioned, we co-work with some studio and the school. So we try to understand what they need, and then we find out the key point. Okay, so before manufacture, design is the key, and then manufacture.
Yes.
Okay, production. Yeah. Okay, and for design, for example, for some models, we build in the hardware calibration. Calibrator.
The motorized calorimeter.
Can rotate automatically.
Yes.
So because some users, they of course, after they purchase this monitor, and then they find that the monitor, the color, because LED, usually they will change because life cycle issues, so the color will different. By different time. So we have to calibrate it. Yeah. So. But they don't know what time they should do and how to do. Sometimes some people, they don't know how to use the calibrator.
Third-party calibrator. They have to bring somebody in to do it. That's definitely a pain point.
So for them, then maybe it's also a lousy job to use the calibrator to calibrate their monitor. So that's why we build in the calibrator inside. So I think just few brands, just doing this.
And you do it across multiple models as well. It's not just your top range model. It's not your most expensive monitor only that has this. You have this motorized colorimeter across multiple models, ProArt models.
So the key point that we find out that user need it. Not just that we give them the calibration software. Of course, we design the calibration software. But it's not enough. For some models, we build in the calibrator itself. And of course, for some models, the users think that they already have a calibrator, so they don't need it. So not only the hardware, but also the software. As I mentioned, we designed a calibration software for users. But not only the users, but also the IT people. For enterprise, for IT people, we also designed ProArt Color Center. For those IT people to just calibrate their monitors. Remotely.
So if you're a big production company, VFX studio, and you've got 1,000 artists that work for you, 400 of them are working with ASUS ProArt monitors. Someone in IT can make sure that they're all working in the same color space with the same accuracy by doing a group calibration at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning or 8:59 on a Monday morning. So it takes 1 minute to do. It's so quick, isn't it? So then everybody, when they start their day, everybody's working, on accurate monitors.
That's right. And then software and the hardware. And also the certification. So we co-work with Calman. So
for verification.
So they try to verify what's the monitor status, and that the end user become comfortable. So because the monitor is certified by some third party. So we have confidence to say the monitor color is good and the accuracy is good.
So it's a combination of, like you were talking about earlier, just listening to people in the industry. So you release a product, you've designed it, you put it into production, you release it, and then you listen to the feedback from the community. What people say, what they really like about it, or if there's a feature, I don't like the buttons on the back, it'd be better if the buttons were on the front or something like that. That's something you guys take on board and you look into your next generation of displays.
So, and also another software, hardware, certification, and also before the sale to customer, we have to factory the pre-calibration. To try to make sure everyone monitors the color accuracy is correct.
So they're all calibrated in the factory. They're packaged in their eco-friendly, sustainable packaging, which goes out to the customers. But then the customers can recalibrate themselves using the motorized colorimeter. But it's already been calibrated in the factory anyway. That's part of the process you guys have put in place.
Before the unbox, we have to make sure the color is correct. After they use the monitor for some times, and they have to recalibration it. And before that, we also provide a testing report, calibration report for end user to let them know what's the color status for this monitor. Not just one paper and printed for every one
thousands
monitor.
of times.
So it's an individual report for every monitor. The number is different. Yeah. So that's what ASUS do for end user.
Yes. Yeah. So I suppose, Vincent, that has to lead me on to, look, we're here now in ASUS HQ, right, in Taipei, which is great. And so we're surrounded. I can see how many people you have here, right? There are lots of people that work here, all busy doing things. And you mentioned before how when it comes to new products and product innovation, you listen to your users and you get feedback on what people like and what they're looking for. So, I mean, I have to ask, as we look ahead through 2025, what trends, what can you share with us about the trends that you're seeing, hearing, that you're putting into action with the next generation of displays that you're creating for creative communities like we have at Red Shark?
So, because technology-wise, there are many components in the monitors. So, I can talk about some technology trend. First is a panel. Of course, panel is the most important material for monitor. And panel-wise, I think OLED. From last year, a lot of people talk about the OLED. Not only gaming but also creators. So ASUS also launched some OLED. But of course, OLED is just the first year from since 2024. And 2025, I think OLED also the key items. Everyone will talk about the OLED. And so OLED will have the different improvement on resolution. Of course, refresh rate. And also the color. So those improvements will help the brands or manufacturers to design a new product and for creators. OLED is a key trend in 2025. And secondary is also LCD. So OLED, of course, I talk about the refresh rate. So LCD, the same. Higher refresh rate for end user, for creators are also important because they move some the object quickly.
Especially in Unreal Engine and other new software tools that people are now using for video, which were being used for gaming before.
So they generated content for game, game title, So and also for some for building design,
3D design,
3D design,
architecture,
So they also need to check the every angle, and quickly the moving. So refresh rate also important.
I imagine even healthcare as well in medical environments too. Having high refresh rates is incredibly important.
And also the resolution. Resolution, I think, is most important for content creators. So now the trend is from not only 4K UHD, but also the 5K, 6K, and even 8K. Now the 8K we already have some demonstration for 8K.
At IBC you had a true 8K monitor that you have. So
I think the resolution is the key point for the 2025. So panel-wise, the OLED refresh rate and also resolution.
And color, of course, as well.
Color is improve the color, the spectrum and the color, of course, accuracy is also important. Continue to make sure the color is white color is good enough, and also the accuracy is good. I think
sometimes it's important for people to see different types of monitors side by side. And I know it's not very often people really get the chance to do that. It could be at a show like IBC or at a retailer or a reseller they can go and visit. But if you can see an OLED panel next to a normal single panel, a lot of the time users really can see a difference, especially with the blacks. I can see why that's something which people are looking at moving forward in terms of OLEDs. OLED displays, panels.
When they sell the OLED, I think that they will like it. And it's first, the trend is for panel. And the secondary is different items, for example, the smart. Because now after COVID, not only working, but also the life and working with, sometimes it's combined together, it's a hybrid. Now everyone is combined. Some people still work from home.
Your workspace is also your home space.
Your space is limited. So it should be the work and the entertainment together. So the design is some product design is building some entertainment function.
Yeah.
For example, smart TV.
Yes.
Yeah. So and ASUS also launched the smart monitor. Yeah.
That's
Inside
the Harman Kardon speaker built into it, like a soundbar essentially built into the display.
Yeah. Because entertainment, I think audio is important.
Yeah.
Video is important.
Yeah, it is.
And also the system, building the Google TV, the system inside the monitor also can help. And end user, they don't need to purchase a different setup box.
Yeah.
And connect a lot of things to their monitor or to PC. Yeah. So now just put everything there to one monitor.
Yeah.
Together.
No cable mess.
No cable.
Everything's in one monitor.
Yeah. So like all in one.
Yes, yeah. And that's the one. It's also got a space behind it for a keyboard and a mouse.
Yes.
So when you finish work, you can put your work bits away and
just use the remote control.
Yeah.
Just a remote controller to have to watch the Netflix.
Yes,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then you can get back to work and get your keyboard back out.
So work and entertainment, so combine together.
Yeah. So panel technology, entertainment or smart technology as well.
Yeah.
They're the kind of key trends for 2025.
Yes. And then next one is diversified form factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now the working style is also different. So the movable become the important. So as you know, that we have a portable monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only for Zen screen, but also for ROG gaming.
Yes.
And also we have ProArt portable monitor.
Yes.
And in this year, I think that more and more the people, they need not only portable, but also movable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Movable means a little bit bigger the screen size, but you can move from this room to another room.
Yeah.
So you can change your scenario from work to entertainment immediately.
And also for people that are in an office, maybe that could be a remote office, like a hybrid office, or it could be they're going into the office to see their boss, to show them a video or a piece of design they've created. Maybe their boss, the display they have hasn't got great color accuracy or high resolution, or it doesn't look good on a projector. So they can carry in a really good display that they know will represent their work accurately.
Yeah.
So their boss, their team, their colleagues can see the work that they've done in the way they want to show it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's convenience, but also it helps them in other ways as well.
Yeah. And so the trend is, as I mentioned, and the latest one is total solution. Yeah, because as you may know, product is not only the hardware but also software together.
Yes.
Yeah. Because for example, AI, so powerful the hardware, but still the easy use and good AI function for end user.
Yes.
So the combine together to deliver the total solution to end user.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. End user, they don't. For users, they don't need to worry about what kind of hardware and the software compatibility issue or what kind of software they have to find. They have to purchase one hardware, bundle software together.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's total solution. Yeah.
Everything's in that one solution. So that goes back, I suppose, to convenience.
Yeah.
It's about making things easy for end users.
Yeah.
In terms of using the products, looking at the products, setting things up. There's no roadblocks. Right, it's just, everything's ready to go.
Yeah,
I mean, you were talking just earlier actually about hybrid workers, and we're seeing that in our industry. That's still growing. There's people working remotely or part-time in the office, part-time at home, but also remote teams. We see a lot, especially in visual effects and post-production. To get the best people working on your project, they can't all be within a 60-minute drive of the office. So you might have a team, using a European example, you might have a head office in London, but you might have a team in Barcelona, another team in Berlin, a team in Milan, and some guys in Dublin. How does ASUS, how does ProArt manage kind of these new hybrid working solutions that companies are increasingly having in the creative space? How does ASUS help address kind of, I suppose, the challenges that come with having remote teams?
Okay, so I think it's a trend for the working style. Yeah. So different location and co-work together. Software is important for to resolve these issues. Yeah. For example, as I mentioned, that's our calibration the software is not only for IT people, also you can remote control. Yeah, you can have your IT people in Asia, and then remote control the hardware devices in North America. Yeah, and to calibrate their monitor. So it's easily for them to co-work together. Yeah, so just use some software to resolve this kind of the working style. Yeah, so software is also one point, and the secondary is not only the office, but also some people they don't have a fixed office. They use some co-working space. For co-working space, we find out some way to provide the solution to end user. For example, last year we co-work with the co-working space at Just Code. Just Code is a Singapore company, and we co-work with them to provide our Movable monitor and also ProArt monitor in their working space. And for end user to just borrow the monitor from their counter, and then they can get the monitor on different the seat.
And they don't have to bring it into the office on the bus or the subway or the metro. They know that when they get to their co-working space, they've got access to a really good monitor with high color accuracy, high visual fidelity, etc. But also, you said portable monitors as well, so they can go from room to room, whether they want to work in that kind of hybrid co-working space.
So we keep some flexibility for them to enhance their hardware.
Well, I think there's a lot of freelance creatives and remote workers that do that. That will do part of their they'll work from home when they can, but maybe that's not always convenient or the best place for them to work. They may be in the office or in the studio part of the time, but also have access to a co-working space.
For hardware, and also we co-work with some partner, and also for end user, they put their content on cloud. So I think everyone can access their content easily. And anywhere from anywhere. So which the working style that can let the user to co-work from different location, and also work anytime, anywhere.
We're seeing that ourselves a lot. We use a lot of cloud collaboration tools with our team. If we're filming in Asia, we can upload our content to the cloud, and our team in Europe, when we finish our day, can start working on it. And then when they finish, when we start our day tomorrow, we've already got a version we can review. So I suppose for ASUS, it's seeing the enhancements, not only in your products and people telling you about your products, but it's looking what the industry is doing with software tools to help people work more efficiently remotely, and in different environments, whether that's AI enhanced tools, cloud tools, and then you guys providing the hardware to help them do great work. Good. Busy year then.
So it's good.
So Vincent, one last thing actually. So we're talking about working remotely, having access to good display technology. Apparently you've got something on you now. You've got apparently on you, and I can't see this, but somehow you've got 3 monitors on you now, but you look like you're just sat there like me with, I've got this. Where are these 3 monitors, Vincent?
Some people still complain even though they have a portable monitor, already very light, it's lightweight, but still not enough. So they need some monitor within the 100 gram.
That's impossible.
So I give you one solution. It's wearable glasses. With the virtual screen. In the air.
And how many virtual screens can you have?
It's unlimited. It's depend on your hardware capability. For example, if you connect to your mobile phone, just one screen because it's a mirror. Of course, for some the high-end mobile phone, now that they support the extended screen. So mobile phone is one screen.
Or a laptop where you can have multiple screens.
Laptop you can have the 5 screen, 6, even 10. If
5's enough.
Of course, for most of people 5 is enough. But some people, if they think it's not enough, 10 it's possible because graphic card, if their graphic card is powerful,
yeah,
I think 10, 11, 12,
yeah,
also possible.
And these here, this isn't a VR headset. These are wearable glasses.
Yeah, it's a wearable glasses for display. It's a wearable display.
Yeah,
not VR.
This is AR, right?
Yeah, you can, AR. Yeah, so it's transparent, so I can see you.
Yeah, you look cool. You have to look at the camera now.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. And you've got the tint on them as well, so you can go outside on a nice sunny day like today.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I can see some content here. Also, I can see you.
But this isn't like a prototype. These are ready to ship, right? These are people can buy these.
Yeah.
And do you know? I'm going to put you on the spot here. MSRP
around the $799.
Yeah, US dollars.
US dollars.
Yeah, under $1,000 basically for that. And they're going to be shipping this year as well, so people can buy them this year.
Yeah, well, we already start to sell in some countries. For example, in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah, we will ship this month.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got some pre-order already. Yeah.
That's really cool. Look, this is it's going to be a trend we see a lot of this year. Okay, I was listening to Mark Zuckerberg talking about kind of how he sees the way people work, and it's that there is obviously a demand out there for immersive, headset wearing content, but it's that AR, it's that middle ground where people can be walking around an office, be working, be talking to people, but still be able to be more efficient, right, and have access to more display technology. Yeah.
So I think that this one is a good for the productivity.
Yeah.
For example, if you wear this one, this glasses display, and you have notebook here.
Yeah.
And I can see the keyboard.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And also
you can see where your cup of coffee is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's coffee here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the keyboard here, mouse here.
Yeah.
And also I have I can see the notebook display. But of course, it's not good just to see like this way and this way. It's not convenient. So maybe you can have the virtual screen in the air.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, 3 screen, the left-hand side, middle side, and the right-hand side.
Yeah.
So you can have the different content.
Yeah.
Outlook here, Excel here, browser here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and move your content, the copy paste here.
Yes.
And you don't need to print a big monitor.
No. You can get on the subway, you can get on a bus.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring something really heavy. And
just this one.
Because I looked at the spec of these, right? And because I don't know, we're kind of, excuse me, we're kind of, I don't know, geeks about this stuff, right? We love like looking at specs, and am I right saying the brightness is 1100 nits, peak brightness, 1100?
Over 1000.
Yeah, that's really bright. Yeah. That's really bright.
But you can adjust the brightness because indoor, of course, you don't need so high brightness, but outdoor.
Yes, you will do. Yeah, so you're working or in an office with lots of windows.
Yeah.
No, this is really cool. Thanks for sharing this. I'll give these back to you now. But now if I know if I need to get some, I can buy some soon. So that's good. Brilliant. Thanks again, Vincent.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.